Alright, Shalom. I ain't got time. I ain't got time for this. Yo, it's not you. I just did this video like 3 times and my computer keeps erasing it. It uploaded to YouTube with no sounds. I'm gonna try it again, man, because I just, doing this type of stuff helps me keep studying, man. Watching these videos, man, learning stuff, it keeps me in the Bible, it keeps me studying. Making these videos, it keeps me studying, man, because it gives me an outlet, bro. I guess nobody wants to know a lot of stuff without being able to show anybody or share it with people. Anyway, this is Barbarian. This little article, we're going to keep on going with this. It talks about how Barbarian is the second Barbarian. It talks about the ancient Greeks there, right, and what they call barbarians. So they're trying to hide the identity of the barbarians. And so, alright, sorry, I had to take care of my little one there. He had a rough night last night. So, I'm going to go to the Classical Gazette, show you what it says about Barbaria. Because like I was saying, they keep trying to hide the identity. They want to claim that they're melanated people since it was Africa. They were not melanated people. Here's Barbaria. IQ, whatever that means, have no idea. Azania. So, being that Azania is the definition for Barbaria, I'm guessing they're one and the same. Something got into me to just look up what does IQ mean. And of course we got a lot of their horse shit coming up before anything, but we took the time and the patience, man, and found out for ourselves what it means. Find out for myself what it means, right? My people always want to listen to what somebody else tells them about stuff. The news, the language is all made up of just trite phrases. We just repeat shit, man. We're all like parrots. So there you go. This bullshit about intelligent quotient, man. Another thing, authoritarianism. Y'all don't have the right to tell people who's smart and who ain't. You know what I mean? I'm sitting here trying to look up some information, and you guys are not going to. Sorry about the attitude, man. But like I say, I tried to record this thing 7 times, but y'all, it ain't gonna win, man. We gonna do it. IQ. What does it say here? Idem quad, it means the same as. Okay, so just like what I suspected. But there we got the proof. Barbaria, IQ, idem quad, or the same as Azania. Now, Barbaria is like the Horn of Africa, Somalia, Ethiopia, inland further, but then Azania on that map that I had a couple videos back showed as being south of Barbaria. So I think basically the whole middle section of Africa from Barbaria down was Barbaria. Okay, so we see the area known as Bernice Troglodytica. So we got some troglodytes in the area. There's some good information on this Barbaria and this. They call it Proto-Somalians, talking about how they're, we showed in other videos how there was man-eating barbarians in the area and definitely wicked people, but then there was some barbarians that were trading with people. Sorry if I touched my beard. I shaved my beard off last night and I keep playing with it. Anyway, the second Barbaria was the location of the so-called Far Side ports. So we know that the north coast of Africa was known as Barbaria, and that was populated by the Phoenicians and by the Canaanites. We're going to try to find out who was the people populating this second Barbaria on the Horn of Africa, the east coast of Africa. Were they Hamitic people as well? So, I don't know, we're looking at this one. I don't have time to go through all I just try to pick out what's true, because it's got a whole lot of stuff, They're always trying to hide something, man. Very dishonest. Very dishonest. Just be honest about something, right? Incense gathering barbarians, right? So they got a land of plenty. They got a good land that other people are coming and trading with them. Um, but as we keep looking through this Barbarian, we're going to see that they're going to associate it with something called the land of Punt. And this, of course, we're getting closer to the original or biblical identity of this land and these people. So here we see land of Punt, and we're going to go into land of Punt and see what they got to say about that. If they don't fucking erase my shit while I'm trying to record it, I don't know. Maybe I'm not even recording right now. I'm tired of talking to myself, man. Yo, but for real, like I was saying before, this stuff all helps me to study, man. It keeps me in the Bible. It keeps me learning about history, which of course leads us back again to the Most High. So I want to thank all those content creators out there that's putting out truth, you know. All right, land of Punt, alternate, was in the ancient kingdom, a trading partner of ancient Egypt. It was known for producing and exporting gold, aromatic resins, blackwood, ebony, ivory, and wild animals, most likely slaves. We know the region is known from ancient Egyptian records of trade expeditions. It's possible that it corresponds to Apon in Somalia. They claim to not even know where the land is, you know. These people that pass themselves off as scholars, man, they should be fucking embarrassed. Alright, so we see while some biblical scholars have identified it with the biblical land of Phut or Havilah. Okay, these are Hamitic peoples. Yeah, because they should be embarrassed, because every time they try to say something about anything, they say, oh, there's alternative theories, we're not real sure. Like, what the fuck, man? If I can sit here and look up on my computer and find out some stuff and kind of put together a general idea and kind of support it pretty well, then they should be able to. Alright, so at times Pun is referred to Taj Nazir, the land of God. The exact location is debated. Man, that's because y'all are fucking idiots and liars. Various locations have been offered: Southwest Egypt, Red Sea, coastal region covering what we know as Greater Somalia. It's also possible that it covered both the Horn of Africa and southern Arabia. No, it covered the Horn of Africa and what was known as Azania, which was the south of there, in present-day Tanzania, Mozambique, the whole, from the middle of Africa, the Horn of Africa, the whole east coast down was Barbaria. Okay, now we're going to look at some, excuse me while I touch my face, I do that shit way too much. We're going to look at the Egyptians going down there, right? A lot of trade being done with Egypt, with Hatshepsut, with Amenemhotep. I don't know anything about Egypt, but there's some they're showing some evidence here of the expeditions that the Egyptians took down there to trade for these aromatic resins and incenses. And we're going to see here a little excerpt from one of the historical records of a trip by Hatshepsut down there. And it says, said by Amen, the Lord of the Tivors of the two lands, come in peace, my daughter, the graceful, who art in my heart, King Machika. It's strange that they're calling a woman Hatshepsut, we see, i.e. King Makero or whatever. I give thee Punt, the whole of it. I will lead your soldiers by land and by water, on mysterious shores, which joins the harbors of incense. They will take incense as much as they like. They will load their ships to the satisfaction of their hearts with trees of green, fresh incense. I don't think loading myrrh and frankincense on some boats is going to fill their hearts with joy and satisfaction. I think filling their ships with some fresh green herbs is what's going to do these things. And they are obviously speaking of incense or marijuana. Very obvious. So we see the barbarians slinging marijuana, right? Trading marijuana. And since we see the identity of the barbarians is trying to be hidden, I decided to kind of look into it a little bit and see if we could find anything interesting about who is the barbarian. And so I think we're gonna do this in a minute here. I don't like this because when I recorded the original video, of course I had my audio on there and everything, but for some reason when I uploaded it to YouTube, the audio didn't go in, so now I gotta play the YouTube video and then do the audio recording over it. I hate this shit, man, but I hate the computer, but I love what you can find out from the computer. I love the knowledge, and I love the truth. Don't bear false witness against your neighbor. Tell the truth. Have fair weights and measures. And that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to see who are these barbarian tribes of so-called Europe. We know they come from the Caucasus or the Pig Shit Mountains. Okay, there's the Huns. You see in the bottom right-hand corner, it's showing a melanated person. The story of the Huns is pretty interesting. There was 4 different tribes of Huns. Now, these are the Franks, and they're displaying on their shield there the Bisconi or the ouroborus, right? The snake eating itself, or in this case, eating a globe. So the Huns were the white, the black, the red, and the blue Huns, I believe. And the white Huns were the interesting ones, the Hephalites. See, they show the Vandals here, and they try to show some melanated people. I've seen them try to show the Vandals as melanated people a lot of times. Once again, it's because they're coming from Africa. But if you know the history of the Vandals, they of course began in the Caucasus. They went to Germany after that, and then a portion of them came south from Germany into the north coast of Africa. And of course we see the ouroborus again displayed with the Saxons there. So we're going to look at this. This is the Bisconi. This, I believe, is similar or the same as the ouroborus, and it's talking about, it's commonly known as the vipera. It's a heraldic charge. I don't know what that means, showing an argent or arzur serpent in the act of consuming a human, usually a child, sometimes described as a Moor or an Ottoman Turk. It is a historic symbol of the city of Milan. I believe it's the historic symbol of the barbarian nations, the usurpers, and the later in time the controllers, the Illuminati, the corporations. We're gonna see some ties into that with this Bisconi. So grass snake. Look at that. That's look. I said the word Bisconi is masculine. It said in Latin the beast. Okay, the beast. That's what Bisconi means in Latin. Okay, we know who the beast is, right? We know who the beast is. The merchants, right? The merchants, the Canaanites, the non-melanated Hamitic peoples. Okay, of Canaan. And so we got here the contemporary use. Again, it says right there, from Latin, bestialia, the beast. Okay? And the Visconti family is talking about these different Italian families, and these old Italian families are melanated people, so, you know, that's misinformation most likely. The Latins we know to be a different people. And so, you know, I would believe this Bisconi coming from the Latins, from the barbarian tribes. And we see them representing it on their shields and on their cities. Okay, so we see outside Milan a similar design is found in the seats of the Hungarian nobleman Nicholas I, who was the Palatine to the King of Hungary, 1375 to 1385. Here, the crowned snake devours a sovereign's orb rather than a human. And we recognize this sovereign's orb. It's the globus crucis. It's the globe with the cross coming out the top, which was a symbol of the Christian authority. My authority is the Most High. I will stick every time with what the Most High says. Most of my people don't give a damn about what the Most High says, so they're always looking for an authority here on earth. They're looking to be told what to do, or we're looking tell somebody what to do. It's hard for me to distinguish between they and we because, of course, I am one of them and I share many of their qualities. However, the Most High shows us that we can change in life. We don't have to continue these barbarous acts. We don't have to continue just this abominable lifestyle, these abominable acts and traits. Here's the Bisconi. We see he's about to eat a globe. The globe is Crucis, okay? The ouroborus, the symbol of rebirth, according to them, okay? Look up ethnogenesis. These people talk about peoples and ethnologies forming out of the thin air, seemingly. Ethnogenesis, the beginning of an ethnos. Okay, but that's not what the Bible says. The Most High said that He created us. He created the different families of the earth, and that's what I go by. There's no such thing as an ethnogenesis. There's no such thing as a rebirth. This ouroborus symbol, this Bisconi symbol, is a symbol of their destruction of the original people and their usurpation of who they were. They are taking their place. That's what this symbol is. The quote, rebirth is the reset of the world. A white supremacist world. New World Order, right? Maybe the fucking New World Order has already started. Who knows? Maybe it started way back when. Way back when a barbarian tribe came and destroyed, broke free of slavery, Anyway, it gets tiring trying to get through all their bullshit, man, but I found a couple interesting things that I think are worth sharing here. And so we see it represents Christ's dominion, right? What does it say? The Christian authority. Okay, whatever. We see it in the images of ancient melanated kings that obviously fell off, got their dominion taken away, were destroyed, were repopulated, were usurped, The Hephilites, I don't know if I already said it, was the white Huns, and they were known as nomads, but somehow they lived in cities. And if you look it up, it's because they went from one city to another, destroying the city, and then inhabiting the city, and pretending to be those people. And they were Scythians. They came from the Caucasus. But as we see, there's some non-melanated people coming from some other areas. You got the Canaanites, of course, and then we got biblical Foot and Havilah coming from the land of Punt, coming from Barbarian. And so the Most High gives us all tests. He gave me many tests. I'm a barbarian. I come from a barbarous people, but that doesn't mean that I have to continue acting like that. The Jeremiah 12 says that if we learn to swear by His name, as we taught the people, His people, to swear by Baal, then we can be recompensed to Him. Or if we won't, then we face destruction. So that doesn't sound like we have much choice in the matter. I know I don't. Okay, so we're going to look at the berserker people. We're going to look at and there's a troglodyte, a caveman. These people are representing that image. They're proud of this history. We're going to see what they have to say about themselves, And this berserker stuff is totally made up. The sources are poems and epics. It's just bullshit. But we see what they say about themselves. They were said to have fought in a trance-like fury. And if you read down further, they were very close with animals. They believed that they took on an animal spirit while they were fighting. This is what non-melanated people are telling you about themselves, what they were doing in this time, They claimed they were doing it in Europe. We know they weren't doing it in Europe. We know that they were probably doing it still in the Caucasus in that time. But, they would later on go out of the Caucasus, immigrate into Europe and do their thing, get berserk, get barbarous. They are doing their thing, They still do their damn thing, man. Look at how hard it is to find out the truth about anything, man. And in my own family members are so goddamn shady, man. The Most High said don't bear false witness against your neighbor. Have yourself equal weights and measures. He goes over it again and again. Be honest. Stop bullshitting. Stop making up shit. Stop making up shit. I understand that our history is an ugly history. It's a history of murder and violence and usurpation. It's a history of slavery. It's a history of our slavery, of course. So there's a lot of things that we want to hide about who we are. But let's look at what melanated people were doing in this time. You know, in Somalia, there in the land of Punt, they were creating pyramids. There's several ancient pyramids in the land of Punt. And so that led me to this website. And then we look at this website and we see and find that these pyramids in the land of Punt were ancient pyramids. Ancient pyramids. And there's a lot of information here. We're going to look and find that there's also pyramids in many other places. Pyramids in Cuba. Pyramids in Brazil. I didn't know there was pyramids in Guyana. I damn sure didn't know there was pyramids in so-called Russia. Okay? So these are the Somali pyramids. These are images of the Somali pyramids, but we're going to check out these pyramids in Russia because they're very interesting. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call them pyramids of Europe because the part of Russia, the Kola Peninsula, where these pyramids and then I got to look into it. While I was trying to record, I noticed that it said the deepest hole on Earth is in the Kola Peninsula, and also labyrinths are in the Kola Peninsula. We're going to take a look at this here in just a second. This is going to be my last try though, man. I ain't got time for this, man. I love to do it, man. Like I say, it's just fucking roadblocks, man. Roadblocks. And I just hate computers, man. I really do. I can't say that enough. So here we're looking at the Kola pyramids. Okay. There's one we see very weathered. Very, very weathered and very ancient. Here's another. Now these are very interesting images. Very interesting images. There even appears to be some perhaps melting going on that one in the back if you look up at the top of it. They're just very weathered, but definitely look like pyramids. Look at the four sides, look at the corners, look at the pointed top. That's not a mountain. That's not a mountain. So this is what melanated people were doing in these times. They were creating lasting monuments to survive however long, a very long time, while people that look like me were dancing around in animal skins. So that's some truth for your ass, you know. I'm just done. I want to know some true stuff. I want to, and the Kola Peninsula is also very circular there on the edge. It's very interesting. Here's a close-up view of the pyramids again. See on the left, look at the top of the left. It looks like there's some dripping going on, as if there was some sort of melting, like John Levi would talk about, right? But then you see how the capstone or the outer surface is coming off too. I don't know anything about pyramids, but I say they look like pyramids to me. And, there's sources on the internet talking about them being pyramids. There is the labyrinth. We know the labyrinth from a couple of the ancient maps about the... and there's the Kola Peninsula. We see it sharing a border with Finland, with Norway. The White Sea, right? Maybe the Laban, right? Ain't that the Hebrew meaning, white? Who knows? So, I think this next one that we're going to punch up is the one that says something about the deepest hole on Earth. Right, look at that. Accumulate lots, experience. Maybe it was the last one. So anyway, it's a straight shot from up there to go right on down and right on down to Britain and everything else. And funny enough, this is the route followed by the first ever chartered corporation, the Muscovy Company, or the original name is the Mystery and Explorers of Ancient Lands and Faraway People. Look it up, very interesting. That word mystery being in there is, to me, very telling and very significant. And then Muscovy is right over there, I believe, right over there somewhere in Russia. The Muscovy Company, they traveled from Britain up to Russia to trade. And followed this route right past the Kola Peninsula, where we have these pyramids and everything else. And the roundness of the land, the roundness, the circularity of the land. Let's see what we got next. I think we're going to talk about, we're going back to what they were doing, these berserker peoples with the made-up history, but they tell us a lot about who they were because they tell us how they acted and what they did. The barbarians down there in Barbarian, we know that some of them were man-eaters. They were doing all sorts of barbarous acts, but then I guess it said that there was some that also traded with peoples. I guess more what the white man would call civilized. So here we are with the Mobius Strip. The ouroborus reminds me of the Mobius Strip, and we've seen in the movie that Morpheus said this is a strip where you travel around and around, right? Or does that come from I don't know if it comes from what's the name of that fucking movie with Morpheus, man? Come from the Matrix, or I'm thinking now the Mobius Strip comes from that other one about the dreams and stuff, right? Anyway, it's a so-called strip where you travel around and begin back again, or whatever, And for me, that means that I'm brought back to the Most High once again, because that need for the truth and that need to know Him and be close to Him and worship Him is within me. He's been calling me for a long time. And okay, so we got the Orient, and we see the first definition of the Orient is the countries of Eastern Asia. But we look down a little further and we see that it has something to do with the orientation or placement of something in reference to other locations. And it says, I can't see, man, a line or... Anyway, so the Orient, we're going to see that the Orient was the Middle East. You're going to put in the Oriental Jews, it's going to tell you the Mizrahi Jews were from the Middle East. So the Oriental Jews came from the Middle East. It's just another name for the fake Jews, the Mizrahi Jews. It's just their way of telling us that the Middle East was known as the Orient. And we're going to look again over here. Oriental Crisis of 1840 fought between Egypt and Turkey, or the Turks. Muhammad Ali was ruling in Egypt at that time. And it took place in the Eastern Mediterranean. So I don't know anything about math, but I found this... Orientalism. It says that capture up the Middle East, North Africa, West Arabia, and these are partially indebted to Oriental future. So we see that in the old days, the Orient was known as basically everything to the East, basically everything to the East, and not necessarily the Far East. And the other meaning of Orient down here at the bottom is to align or position something relevant to the portraits of a map or a compass or other specified, I'm sorry, I can't goddamn see that, positions. So orient or orientation has something to do with the position of something in reference to the position of something else. And when we look up this mathematical definition of Orient right here, we're going to see that they have even another definition for what they call orientatability. And I was led to this. I don't know why I was on this Orient kick, man, but I think it's telling. I think there might be something to it. So they have a lot of this Euclidean. Who knows what the fuck all this stuff means? I don't know anything about math. But we're going to get down here and we're going to see that it has a meaning that we can somewhat understand to mean something significant. Maybe we can know what the fuck they're talking about. A choice of normal vector allows one to use the right hand rule. And we see that in mathematics and physics, the right hand rule is a common mnemonic for understanding orientation of axes in three-dimensional spaces. So we're seeing that this has something to do with the pivot on an axis, the orientation of the pivot point on an axis. And it talks more about, for instance, more generally, orientatability of an abstract surface or manifold measures whether one can consistently choose a clockwise orientation for all the loops. So again, moving clockwise. So, we've lately been wondering about the map and how is it messed up and how has it changed, how have they changed the laws and the times. And we see that if they had pivoted the north would then be the east, and the west would now be the north. So they're telling us that the Orient has something to do with the orientation of the globe or the map, I believe. Or I'm theorizing anyhow. I don't know if this is true or not, but it's just fun to explore this shit because you know what? I know that what they said about it ain't true. Okay, I don't believe nothing that they put out on the news or anything else or any other place because I am tied into the Most High and I want to know what my authority says about the world, what my authority says about life, what my authority says about everything. That's what I care about. I'm not repeating what nobody else said, except some other people maybe like me, of course, that are searching for the truth. But, like your average barbarian, I'm not going to just repeat what I heard on the news, repeat what I heard somebody else say. The whole language is just made up of trite phrases where they're just repeating what they heard, repeating what somebody said, repeating what they claim to know. But the motherfuckers don't know anything about anything because we don't take time to look at anything for ourselves. A lot of us go to college. What do we do in college? We repeat what somebody told us. Okay? I've been taught, but I've learned to look for stuff on myself. So this Mobius strip, maybe it's me, maybe it's my life. Maybe I feel like I keep repeating things because the Most High is constantly testing me, as he said in Exodus 20 and 20 that Moses told the Israelites, fear not, because the Most High comes to test you, to prove you, to teach you to fear him so that you may sin not. So I know obviously in my life every day I have many tests. And one of them is definitely this skin color that I've been given, this bloodline or heritage that I've been given. It was a test for me certainly to see, can I act differently? Do I continue to act barbarously? Do I continue to just accept what others have told me? Or do I look for the Most High and find the Most High? Okay. So I'm just kind of go ahead and kind of proving the point that these barbarians in Africa, these Hermetic peoples, were non-melanated peoples in Barbaria and Azania, and we've shown much proof to this. And we're gonna go ahead and finish up here, I think. Taj Nazir, otherwise known as the Land of God, that this area was said to be very plentiful. Very plentiful. And I'm not sure what we're doing now. I think we're just about finished. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you the information about this classical gazetteer encyclopedia. I haven't gotten into it a lot. I've tried to. It's another one of the 200 screens I got open on my computer constantly. So the Classical Gazetteer, a dictionary of ancient geography, sacred and profane, by William Hazlitt. It would be interesting to look him up. I'm guaranteeing you he's a melanated person. London, Whitaker and Company, 1851. All right, Shalom, take care of yourself. If I don't load this one, I'm not going to try again. So I'll see you next time, or maybe I won't, man. You know what I'm saying? I almost put my fist to this fucking computer screen doing this shit, man. But, you know, I ain't no consumer, bro. I ain't gonna ruin nothing until... I don't get nothing until I need to, man. This money goes to my bank account, man, to uphold my family and to uphold those that are dear to us. All right, Shalom. Peace out.